Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to the Live to Inspire podcast. Yours truly, as always, Dave Coleman. And today I'm going to be talking about procrastination. Now, this follows on from episode 13, which was talking about affirmations. Today, procrastination. Reason being, really, I woke up one morning and I had a sort of premonition that I was going to go to the gym and I was going to lift this and I was going to run that and pull the sled and just do X, Y, and Z. So because of that premonition, I went into the gym and I went and did it. I told myself that I could and that I was going to do it, so I just went and did it. Now, it sounds really weird, but I get a lot of sort of premonitions and things like that, and sometimes when we have a gut feeling, that gut feeling 9 times out of 10, it's normally right. So if your gut says yes or no, you should normally go with it. It's instinct, it's intuition. So that's what I did, and I went and did it. However, whilst I was in the gym, I had a message from my friend who said he was struggling with procrastination, which I found quite surprising because me and this guy, we got on really well. We trained rugby together, we've been in the gym a few times together. Most mornings we send each other a message, today is a new day. Thank God it's Monday, a new week, a new set of opportunities in which we can be successful, we can grow, we can develop, the sun is shining, we have our health. And it's amazing. And this guy said that he struggled to get out of bed. His thing is normally just going for a run in the morning, and he struggled to get out of bed. And I very nearly, quote, threw in the towel. And if I may, he said, even after I got up, even after I went to the toilet, when I put my kit on, even when I stepped out the door, when I left the compound, turned the corner, realised how I had insufficient time, injuries were kicking in, a bit of self-doubt, I was questioning myself, I was ready to quit and ready to fail. And then I just started running, and I took my failed run into a total success, and that has set the tone of the day. And that, for me, receiving a message like that whilst I was training as well, I felt very empowered by it, and I found it fascinating, and it just got me thinking about procrastination in itself. Because I, for one, I know I do it. I try and justify things to myself that it's okay, I've been busy because I've done this, and this. But the reality is I haven't actually done that main thing that I need to get done. So in a nutshell, procrastination by definition is the act of delaying or postponing an event or a task. Some other people call it a self-regulation failure, which is just an interesting concept, an interesting perspective. And I think the main question really for me is, why do we do it? Why do I say we? Why do some people procrastinate? Why are we not proactive in terms of doing the things that we want to do? So there is a solution to it. And there's a range of different types of procrastinators, as one may envisage. I'll give you my personal perspective on how we can stop procrastinating at the end. However, in between then and now, I'm just going to go through a few ideas with you. So one type of procrastinator is the person that says they work well under pressure, right? So whether you've been given a task, they're all tasks actually, aren't they? What am I talking about? Leaving it to the last minute, or time constraints, time. There's no way the task can be done to your high standards, and then for most people, they just fall back into the old patterns, routines and beliefs, that we can do it in the 11th hour, and that'll be fine. So the biggest challenge for this sort of person is actually just getting started, which does have links with mental health and well-being, in that some people, like my friend saying, just getting out of bed for some people on some days is a massive achievement. And that then starts your day. So if you can get started, you're 95% of the way there. So the solution would be to flip the script and set a start date. So when you focus on when you're going back to begin the task, you know that you have started it, and if you haven't, you've held yourself accountable to it. I will start it on X, or as soon as I get the assignment, I set the goal, that is when it starts, rather than thinking the end date is when it finishes, therefore I have that much time between now and then in which to complete it. So weirdly as well, it takes a lot of pressure off of yourself. Like if you've actually started with it, started the goal, started moving towards that completion, you might finish it ahead of time. I think there was a saying by Elon Musk where if you've got a 5-year plan or even a 10-year plan and you get most of it done in 1 year, or you try and get most of it done in 1 year, you're 4 years, 9 years ahead of where you would be in 4, 5, 10 years time. So being proactive rather than procrastinating, flipping the script and setting a start date and getting started, that's a massive one. The second one is a self-depreciator, someone who says, I'm so lazy right now. The biggest challenge is taking a break. We already know you're going to say you don't have time to rest. Excuse me, I'm a massive one for that. Always busy, always doing something. So for me personally, I take time on a Friday, is my day off. And every Friday morning I'll get a coffee and I'll get a croissant and I'll go and sit by the beach and I'll listen to the waves and just calm. It's very quiet, it's very peaceful. I try and release any sort of conscious thought out of my brain, and that allows me to decompress and recharge. So effectively giving myself some space in which I can restart, rebuild, and draw on fresh energy, in which I can then either, like today, restart my day. I've got a full tank of energy in which I can go and utilize in best way possible, or even for the rest of the week. So if you can take a break and decompress, that is absolutely huge. There are other people, however, the flip side of that. So some people say they're just so lazy. Other people are the opposite, and they just say they're so busy. So this type of person is a pro, is really good at filling up their calendar and their diary. They've always got something on, they're always so busy. And that is probably the most common excuse, in that, I'm just so busy at the moment, I just haven't got time, So some of the busiest people we work with get the most done, which kind of makes sense, right? But when busyness comes up as an excuse for not doing something, it's usually an indication of avoidance, which again lends itself obviously to procrastination, in that the definition states the act of delaying or postponing. The biggest challenge for these people is effectively they are creating their own chaos, by which they can avoid facing what they need to do right now. Again, procrastination, delaying or postponing. So the solution, simply take a moment of introspection, i.e. ask yourself, what am I really avoiding? What am I putting off? A bit of self-talk is very powerful. Have a conversation with yourself. Some people find it weird. Again, I've done it in a sporting context. Helps me to prepare and, like I said, give me affirmations, accountability as to what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, when I'm going to do it by, and it's also like it is another voice in which you tell yourself you can do this, you are capable of doing it, you are worthy. So that is a potential solution for them. And finally, there's always one person that said, "Oh, I just had the best idea." So it's like the kind of magpie syndrome, right? Like they get distracted, they get brought in by shiny objects or new ideas. And again, I myself admit have been a victim, strong word, a culprit of doing this. I always get ideas, they pop into my head. A podcast is a prime example. Not that podcasts are particularly shiny, but it does create a distraction. Now, there is nothing wrong with having a distraction if it is of a positive influence in your life. So for me, this podcast as a shiny object is a positive or a welcome break and distraction in my life, in which, as I'm sure you know by now, my purpose is live to inspire. I'm trying to help people to be the best possible versions they can, as well as trying to disseminate information and just get people thinking. However, there are people that take those ideas, those premonitions, they come into their head and they just run with them, and then everything else, I think I may have mentioned previously, the problem that they originally had is then replaced by that new idea or another problem. So trying to find a solution for that new problem creates an air of procrastination. So thus the biggest challenge is actually completing or finding the solution to that initial problem, or the completion of the new idea. So if you do have these ideas or things that come into your brain, you have premonitions or thoughts and challenges you want to do, stick with it, make it stick. Literally write down any new ideas. I've got a notebook. Sometimes I write notes on my phone. I have brain dumps, middle of the night. I just need to get that thought out of my head and put it on my phone. Sticky notes, vision boards. Vision boards are huge. Like, it's just subliminal messages. If you get an idea, get a picture, a visual, stick it on the board, and you remind yourself of that every single day. So that's just a few sort of ideas really around how people procrastinate, why some people procrastinate, different types of procrastinator. For me, as I promised, the easiest solution in which to stop procrastinating is literally to change the mindset. I can't remember, again, I do apologize if I said this previously. If you change the mindset into self-talk, self-evaluation as to why am I procrastinating? Why haven't I completed that task yet? I knew I needed to do it and I've left it to the last minute again. Actually, review that in the mindset of what was the thing that I did first? That thing that you have done first is now the single most important factor to you. And then everything else descends from there. So whichever order you do things, if you are procrastinating, the thing that you do last, that you place the most importance on, is actually the least important. It has the least value to you. So if that's a goal, if that's completing a challenge, a target, whatever it is, reset it so it does become a priority. Rather than delaying it so it's last on your list, keep it at the top of your list, make yourself accountable to it, change that mindset and review what you are doing, how you're doing it, when you're doing it, and why. If it isn't adding value to your life and improving you as a person, you may want to ask yourself, why am I doing it? You could argue that it is helping other people, but self-preservation, look after yourself always before you look after other people. So with that thought, as always, please remember, we will get there eventually, if not immediately, eventually. Take care. See you soon. Bye.